What's up? I'm Deena Bobina. Today I'm here with
Jarvis Rush.
What's up, Jarvis? Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I'm just going to ask you some questions about your life and your music, so let's get into it.
Okay.
Can you tell me a little bit about your background, like where you grew up?
I was born and raised I was born in the city of Chicago, South Side, moved to the West Side, and then by like kindergarten, the start of kindergarten, I started early. We were in Downers Grove, and I've been here ever since.
Hey, I don't stay in the projects anymore. I'm not a project baby anymore. I'm a suburbs kid.
Okay.
Kind of moved around the area, but been in Downers the whole time.
And Downers Grove is?
Illinois suburbs.
Okay.
20 minutes outside of Chicago, to be specific.
And how did you come up with your artist name?
It's actually my mother's last name. My government last name is Patrick, so it's Jarvis Patrick, but for artists, I kind of wanted to keep part of my name and use what I could have used possibly as my actual birth name, so I use Rush.
Okay, got it. How did you get started in music?
I think I really got started like before I recording music. It was growing up around like my family who was like heavily influenced by church. I think when I was like 6, I was in the church choir all the way up until I was like old enough to be like, I don't really want to do church choir anymore. And that was like the end of that.
Okay. How would you describe your personal musical style and genre?
Feel like you never know what you're gonna get. Like even me personally, I don't know what I'm gonna record going into what I'm gonna do. It's really based off like either the vibe or if I'm inspired by something. And other than that, it's just like I just do it.
So it's not like you plan out like this whole album is going to be this kind of genre or anything like that?
Every album I've made has been a just collection of music that I just really like listening to that I made over the time.
Okay. What has been the biggest challenge you faced in your music career?
To continue to make music every year. I have like a period every year where it's like, yeah, like it's going well and I'm like building a bigger audience, but it's also like I feel like I could be doing something else and putting that same amount of effort into it and like succeeding immediately rather than waiting for the right time for it to happen.
Yeah, it's not something you get like that instant gratification from in this industry. Can you walk us through your creative process when writing and recording music? I know you touched a little on it, saying it's all just kind of like the vibe.
Shout out Joey Allen Backwood. If he put it this way, text me something, I'll probably send him something back within the next 20 minutes, a full song done. Is really based off like the vibe I'm either given or like if I'm listening to, let's say, Tame Impala, I want to make something psychedelic, but I don't want it to sound just like Tame Impala. I want to kind of put my own twist to it, and I just try to do it.
Let's see. Who are some of your biggest musical influences?
Definitely Kanye West at a young age. I remember Good Life with him and T-Pain was definitely the first song I knew like top to bottom that was rap genre. Okay. And then other than that, like my brother John heavily influenced me. Like I hated rap growing up, but I liked it at the same time. Like Gucci, I remember being little, so little, like Gucci, he don't love me, like stuff like that, like those type of songs were like engraved in my head and still are to this day, and I think that played a huge part on like where I am now with music.
So would you say that your brother John then has probably been like in your personal life your biggest influence in music?
Probably second. My dad played piano from like the moment I touched the basketball, he was playing a piano, like put it that way. Okay. And he plays around the world now, like with a little group called the Monks. Shout out Jazz Snowboarder. Yeah, it's probably my biggest inspiration.
What has been the highlight of your music career so far?
Getting invited to perform in DC. That was super, super fun. Me and my friend Loki drove all the way up there from Ohio. And just the whole experience from like driving up and back was cool. Being in DC, that was my first time being there. That's the first time I've ever had somebody like sing a song midway through me performing, and that song was not out. I've never experienced that. And that
like
was
someone
like
in the audience.
Yeah,
like
it
back? Okay.
It was multiple people in the audience singing the song. That was probably like the most excited I've been about like instant reaction, just seeing somebody like their reaction to my music.
Yeah. When was that you went to DC?
In 2023, like right before winter time.
And what was the event for?
It was just like a small show. One of my friends, Marco, shout out Marco, he put the event together. I wasn't even supposed to perform. I was just supposed to go out there to support a few friends, and some stuff fell through, ended up being able to perform, and it ended up being honestly like one of the best like experience I've had performing.
Yeah, it worked out for you. So
also there was a deaf girl there who came up to me and told me she enjoyed my music.
Aww.
That was sick.
Love that.
That was very sick.
How do you engage with your fans and build a following?
Social media, but I don't really like go out of my way to tell people that I make music, which I know I should. But I feel like it's more of a actual genuine connection when it's like firsthand they're hearing your music and they're like, oh, who is this? And then I'll dive in. But it's like the people who listen to my music consistently, I'll reach out to 100% all the time, let you know how I'm doing, let you know how the music's going, what's coming, and stuff like that. And I always share my music with all my friends just to get feedback.
So it's more like building personal connections on it, not just like throwing stuff out there on social media
exactly.
and hoping it catches. What can we expect from you in terms of new music and upcoming projects?
I will say a higher quality in sound and a lot more visuals. I didn't do a good job of that last year. I feel like actual personal visuals. We're gonna do a lot more of that. I have a project called Me vs. Me version 2. It's probably like my favorite project, the first one. It's just a way of me putting like everything I'm capable of making on one project. And I feel like it makes sense. It still makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What would you like to tell your future self in 5 years when you're making music full time?
Stay consistent and don't let, like, if I am able to get bigger than what I want, I really just want a fan base that's like connected to like my music, like at a personal level. It's not on like I heard it on the radio and I kind of like it, you know what I mean? Like I want it to be a like actual personal connection. So I would say like just staying consistent, and really just work for whatever goals it is at the time.
What are some things you're passionate about besides music?
Basketball heavily. That was like my childhood growing up was basketball.
And how long did you do it? Are you still doing anything with it?
How long did I do it? I started in 2nd grade with Park District. I started playing competitive 3rd grade year, all the way up until my sophomore or junior year of high school. And then I currently coach basketball. Okay. But I feel like I used to hate that I couldn't play basketball anymore because I have rheumatoid arthritis. That's why I stopped playing. But I don't know, coaching gives me like that same satisfaction as like winning a game or hitting a game-winning shot. Like just seeing kids progress and like be that good is pretty cool to see.
Yeah, and still being able to be involved in it in some capacity too. Let's see, walk me through a typical day in the life of Jarvis.
When I am working, it's wake up, go to work, come home, record, hang out with friends after. If I'm not working, it's wake up, get ready for the day, start recording until I figure out what there is to do for the day. I'm a normal person. Like
probably record for the rest of the day. Who would be your dream collab artist?
Kanye West or Sampha. Like hands down. If it was like true rap, I would really want to work with Future. But like Kanye West and Sampha, like if I could make a whole body of work with just Sampha, I could stop making music.
What about them specifically makes you want to collab with them?
Sampha is super unique. Like there's no other artist that I can name at least that sounds anything like near. Whereas like Kanye, I relate to him in the sense of every album I put out doesn't sound the same. Yeah. Nothing he puts out sounds the same. Like they have like such an original style to what they do that it's like that's why people like it so much.
Like can't be replicated. What would you consider a sign that you've made it in your music career?
A do interview. Nardwar interview would be like the staple of my career, honestly.
Okay, like a highlight. You got it. Okay. What advice do you have for aspiring musicians trying to break into the industry?
you have to at least try it. Like, it's a lot of people who say they want to do stuff, but they don't actually ever try doing it. So it's like just following your word, just going through whatever it is. And I wouldn't even say that in the music aspect. I tell that to anybody younger than me who's like striving towards something. You have to be consistent. You have to make realistic goals and just complete those goals, and it'll slowly build up. And whatever comes will come.
Yeah, consistency. Yeah. And I know you mentioned you have another project coming out, the Me vs. Me Too. When is that dropping?
On December 26th.
Oh, so coming up here.
Yes, yes, very soon.
We'll be on the lookout for it then.
Yes.
That's all the questions I have for you. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And we will all listen to your album on the 26th.
Thank you.